I want to thank you for joining our November 9th Intermediate Planning webinar. Today we're going to be going over comparing as intended fertilizer recs. So our agenda, we're going to go through our introduction and then select a field where a variable rate MAP application might possibly pay. What we'll be doing is we'll be comparing a variable rate application versus a standard flat rate application. And then work zones and scenarios representing standard costs, assumptions, and then we'll finish up comparing return on investment on zones and on scenarios. So before we hop into Profit Zone Manager, I do want to let you know that we are in Q&A mode, so if you have any questions, please type your question underneath the chat box below. You see my contact information, my email, djbahe@agsolver.com, or you can email our support team at support@agsolver.com, and then you can always call my cell phone, which is 319-238-1978. Now we'll hop into Profit Zone Manager. And I've already created two different 2017 MAP recs for one of our fields. And I've already uploaded them to Profit Zone Manager, so I'm going to minimize that and then scroll down to our enterprise. And today we're going to be working out of the James field. So we'll be using 2015 yield data for this particular field. And once scenario loads, we will create a new scenario. So we'll click on the green Create Scenario button underneath the field name. We're going to call this 2017 corn production variable rate MAP application. Scenario type we will have is planning. And then we will select our 2015 corn yield data, and then we will select our variable rate MAP application. And within this MAP application, it's a pretty simple map. We'll save that, and then crop budget is loading, and we will select the 2017 Dan Bahe's corn production crop budget. I have my equipment, seed, cover crop, and then our application of anhydrous, potash, spidress, and then for our MAP, that's actually at 22 cents a pound. We'll go ahead and save that. That's loading. And to give you an idea of what the two different maps look like, so here is the variable rate map that we're applying to the field. So where you see the red cells, those are where we're applying about 60 pounds of MAP. The yellow is at 80, and then in the green cells, that's at 100 pounds. We could have extrapolated this even more, but we decided to go with these three ranges for this scenario for our variable rate. And where the green grids are, that's predominantly the higher productive areas of the field, and then followed by the yellow, which is the average, and then the red, which is the poorest performing areas. And we created this based off of our yield map. And then we have our flat rate of 100 pounds of MAP across the entire field. So that gives you an idea of the two maps that are, or two prescriptions that are being applied. So now we'll go back to Profit Zone Manager, and we will create our 2017 corn production flat rate map application. This scenario will be a planning scenario also. We will select the 2015 corn yield and then our map flat rate. Pulls up our budget again. Loading budget templates. We'll select the 2017 Dan Bahe corn crop production. Scroll down, adjust that to 22 cents again. And how we figured our cost on the map was we just divided our cost per ton divided by 2,000 pounds, which gives us that rate. And then we can enter that price per pound into the cost there. And we'll come back up and then click Save and apply this crop budget to this particular scenario. So now once we have our flat rate scenario created and our variable rate scenario created, now it's time to compare the two performance. So what we will do, we will come up and click on the options drop-down menu right beside the James field name. And within that, we have the compare scenarios option. And this is where I really like to start to analyze the difference between the two maps. So on the left-hand side, we're going to have our flat rate of 100 pounds of map across the entire board versus our variable rate application. So you can see there's not a whole lot of difference within this scenario. The yield's the same, profit's the same. We close that and come to our variable rate. We look at $122 profit an acre. So it's about even. And when we look at our averages, they're not that much different. When we get into looking at scenarios where there's more of extreme like seeding, this is where you'll start to see that, or if you variable rate your side dress application. For me, I haven't seen a huge difference in variable rating map. But granted, we can adjust yields, everything like that also. Pulling up compare scenarios again. Almost a dead even, or really almost even tie. What I always like to do is create a report based off of our as applied data, just to make sure we're applying the right variable rate maps to the particular field. So we'll select our James field and then scroll down to our as applied map, 2016. And then select print. And so now the worker is processing and creating a report based off of our variable rate application maps. While that's going is, what questions would anyone might have? And so, looks like our report is back. Go ahead and download our report. Rec. While that's processing, we'll open up for any questions anyone might have regarding this scenario. So if there's no more questions, I do want to mention that once this webinar is completed, it will be posted onto YouTube. And so our AgriSolver YouTube channel, you can find all of our webinars there that we've completed. And so lastly, I want to thank you for viewing our November 9th intermediate planning webinar, where we're comparing as intended fertilizer RECs. Thank you.